and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about decluttering before moving day. Moving can be a chaotic time, but decluttering before moving can make the process less chaotic and less stressful. Between you and I absolutely love moving day because it gives me an opportunity to get rid of all of the stuff that I don't need and start fresh in my new space. It's all about perspective. Leave a comment and let me know, do you get stressed out about moving? Let's jump into what you should get rid of and where to start so you don't get overly overwhelmed. Overly overwhelmed, that's a lot. Okay. You know what I mean. For all of you who are new to my channel, I am Margo, a professional organizer helping lovely ladies like you maintain a clean and tidy home. If content like this is something you want to get into on a weekly basis, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. For a support group of like-minded women, you can pop into my Facebook group. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Before we actually start decluttering, let's talk about items that you should consider getting rid of, as in those items that you shouldn't transfer from your old space into your new one. First and foremost, anything that is broken, that is damaged, that has absolutely no purpose and that you have not used in a while. You know that item that you pick up and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this. You probably don't need it in your new space. This includes old electronics, torn clothing, kitchen items that you never use. Next, you want to think about duplicates. If you have multiple items that serve the same purpose, choose the one in the best condition and get rid of the rest. Ladies, you do not need 10 coffee mugs. Lastly, consider sentimental items. Now, those items are going to be challenging to get rid of. And I'm by no means implying that you should get rid of everything that serves as a memory, that's a sentimental item. Just be conscious of the items that you actually need to take into the new space with you. Here's a pro tip. I recommend that you take photos of sentimental items that you decided to get rid of and hold on to them as keepsakes. This can be a wonderful way to let the item go, but still hold on to the memory. Decluttering before moving is a wonderful opportunity to start fresh. It's a wonderful opportunity to gift, right? Think about it that way. It's a wonderful time and you're given the opportunity to go through all of the items that you have that typically you don't have, or you have to force yourself, right? To declutter one thing at a time or one room at a time. Well, here you have no choice. You're going to be packing anyways. So you might as well invest the extra time in getting rid of the items that you don't need. Moving into a new home grants you the luxury of starting clutter-free. The future you will thank you. So where should you start? Recently, I was helping a friend of mine move and it was chaos because we essentially had 5 days to declutter and pack up her entire 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, talk about lack of planning ahead of time, but it happens to the best of us. And one of the things that she asked me was, Margo, where do we start? It's not necessarily super important where you start. The most important thing is that you tackle one room at a time. What room you start with is entirely up to you. Starting with one room at a time allows you to focus on each area thoroughly and avoid the feeling of overwhelm. One of the things that I hear all the time is, Margo, I get easily distracted and I kind of jump from one activity to the next activity. Well, that's where a plan comes into play. And look, if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that I love organization. I love planning. If there is no organization and no plan, the world is in chaos for me. That doesn't mean that you should do it the same exact way and you should start planning weeks and weeks in advance. So you don't have to have an elaborate system for decluttering before you move. However, you should maybe just have a one-pager where you list out what room you're going to be tackling or what space or what area you're going to be tackling first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so on. So if you are that person, maybe you're a creative and you get distracted and inspired by other ideas and other things to do, you have a list. So if you're starting with your bedroom and all of a sudden the kitchen's calling out to you, pause, take a look at your list and go back to the bedroom. The point is, the list is going to give you that structure and that organization and really reduces the feeling of overwhelm. It also reduces the whole getting distracted, taking on other tasks. You really, look, you guys are moving. You're in the process of moving. So the more organized you are, accomplishing and completing one space at a time here is very important. It varies when you're just kind of decluttering, but for the purpose of actually moving, you want to tackle one space at a time and complete it from A to Z. The way that I like to think about it is I actually break down each space into 4 sections like this. And then what I will do is I will tackle each one of the 4 squares at one time. Go room by room, section by section, and go through every single item and eliminate all the items that you don't need. Think to yourself, will this item serve me in my new space? Or am I going to have to declutter it 5 months later? Also, keep in mind, the more stuff you bring with you into the new space, right? The more stuff you're gonna have to unpack and organize and find a home for. Like, do you really wanna do that to yourself? Do you? Probably not. I'll leave a moving checklist in the description below. If you wanna grab it to kind of keep yourself organized and you don't wanna create something from scratch, I have done it for you. So you can check it out. It's free, by all means. Hopefully it helps. If you're getting value from this video, contribute to my coffee addiction by smashing that like button. Here is the biggest tip I can give you when it comes to decluttering before moving, and that is the more hands on deck, the better. If you can engage the help of your friends, of your family, if you can bribe them, I don't know, with food, money, whatever, the faster this entire process is going to go. Now remember, when decluttering any space in your home, whether you're moving or not, you want to create a few piles. Keep, toss, donate, and if you'd like, sell. If you're somebody who absolutely loves organization, plus you're packing, so you might need this anyway, you can invest in a label maker. I'll leave a link to a really good one in the description below. If you're like my friend and it's getting super close to your moving date, you might have to go atomic. And atomic simply means that you're really not taking a whole lot of time deciding what items to keep or to toss. You're kind of just going based on instinct. You're going one by one, you're picking up the items, you're like, yes, keep, no, toss, yes, keep, toss, keep, toss, keep, toss, keep, toss, keep, toss. Exhaustion. That's the only way to survive a 5-day declutter and move. Here are some helpful tips for an efficient declutter. Once you've identified 100% the types of items that you're going to be getting rid of and in what room you're going to start, let's talk about some tips to make the decluttering process a bit more efficient. Step 1, set a timer for your decluttering process. Decide how much time you can dedicate to decluttering and stick to your schedule. This is why planning ahead is so important, because it keeps you and your family members on track. Also remember that as you're decluttering, you can also simultaneously pack. I'm somebody that'll actually declutter and pack at the same time, just because I feel like when you do it separately, you end up doing double the work, but it's entirely up to you. And obviously this will depend on how in advance you're decluttering before your actual move. Having a plan will keep you on track and it will prevent you from getting overwhelmed. A really practical tip when you're decluttering is to start with the easy stuff first. This allows you the opportunity to build momentum, because a lot of times the hardest part is actually getting yourself to start. It's like, you know, you have to do it. You know it has to be done, but you're like, maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But having a plan, you like circle the date, you know, Thursday, I'm starting decluttering in my bathroom, right? And then you're more likely to actually stick with it. It is your plan, your list becomes your accountability partner. So you'll start with the easy items first, such as maybe decluttering stuff in the nightstand. Go one item at a time and make sure that you have an exit strategy. Because you're in the process of moving, you're gonna have a lot of stuff to declutter and get rid of. Have an exit strategy for your stuff. Don't have a bunch of trash bags of stuff sitting in the middle of your living room. It is a reminder of the chaos that's happening. So if you packed up a box or a bag of trash, take it out to the trash. If you have a number of bags for donation, schedule a day that you know you're going to be dropping the stuff off. Also, as a reminder, only donate items that are in good condition. I know it can be super hard sometimes. You have that sweater, you have that item that means a lot to you, but it's not in good condition. It's better if you throw it out, because if you donate items that are not in good condition to donation organizations, they just have to end up throwing it out. When you're decluttering and you're trying to decide what item to keep and what item to toss, you know I love the 1-year rule. If you haven't used it, if you didn't even know it existed, if you haven't worn it in the last year, most likely it can go. Yes, there are exceptions, but there are not exceptions to every single item. So just be mindful. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't missed it, if you're shocked that you have it, that means you didn't miss it. Let it go. Unless you're like, oh my God, this is a very valuable item that I didn't realize I had, then by all means hold on to it. But for everything else, You forgot about it? You haven't used it? That blazer has been in your closet for God knows how long. Let it go. For in-person help to declutter your home, I'll leave a link to my contact information in the description below. Finally, make sure to properly dispose of items that can't be reused or recycled. This includes electronics and hazardous materials. By following these steps, you can declutter your home. You can get rid of all of the things that you don't need so you don't bring clutter into your new and wonderful space. If you enjoyed my video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck on your decluttering journey, and always remember to be good to yourselves.